Good afternoon, everyone. This is Patricia, and I am traveling for history. I'm in Burlington, Vermont today on Adams Street. In fact, the building in front of me is 102 Adams Street. And this is currently a single-family home, 5 beds, 5 baths, and just over 3,800 square feet. But I don't care about that right now. What I care about is the time period between 1926 and 1932, when this place was owned by Mr. and Mrs. Arthur Provost Jr. because they opened a private sanitarium right here. In fact, the people she accepted, I'm using their terminology, by the way, they accepted invalids and elderly patients, no surgical, no maternity, and no infectious cases were allowed here. So they operated this between 1926 and 1932. Beautiful place, isn't it? Brick construction, large. It looks like a pretty good sized backyard. In fact, let's go ahead and just meander up the street a little bit. That garage you see there is not part of this house. Doesn't appear to have anything like that, but you can see, let me see, I'm zooming in for you. This area right here starts their backyard. So anyway, that's this place. And I'm going to go ahead and take you to another location within a few blocks of here. So I'll be right back. All right, well, welcome back. Patricia again, traveling for history. And now I'm in front of 236 South Prospect Street in Burlington, Vermont. And why would I bring you here as well as 102 Adams Street? Well, in March of 1932, Mr. and Mrs. Arthur Provost Jr. purchased this building here, which, by the way, didn't look at all like it does now. And if you stick with me until the end of the video, I have a picture to show you what it did look like when they purchased it. Completely different. Completely different. So I'm going to read you an article from the April 6, 1932 Burlington Free Press. And I think you'll find this as interesting as I did. And let me see if I can bring that in a little bit for you. There you go. I have a better idea of what that looks like. Kind of sad with the plastic blowing at the top. I mean, this was built as a mansion. But I'm only concerned with the year 1932 with this house right now. This is actually condos. Now, I forget how many there are in here, but there are a few. And the last one sold for just under $250,000 a few years ago. It's amazing what you find online, isn't it now? Alrighty, so I'm going to quote from this article. Quote, Mr. and Mrs. Arthur Provost Jr., who recently purchased this property at 236 South Prospect Street, have announced that Mrs. Provost will open the house on April 11 as a private sanitarium. Imagine that. For the care of invalids and elderly people, to be operated in conjunction with her present sanitarium at 102 Adams Street. Mrs. Provost has been conducting the Adams Street Sanitarium for the past 6 years. Mrs. Provost states that the sanitarium on Prospect Street will be utilized for both men and women who need special care or who desire to give up the responsibility of maintaining their homes and desire to live in comfort in a homey atmosphere. No surgical, maternity, or infectious cases are taken. Does that sound vaguely familiar? The Prospect Street house is of semi-colonial architecture with brick construction. There are 16 rooms in the house, exclusive of the large halls and bathrooms. The halls will be used for living rooms, and all other rooms, except the dining room and kitchen, will be used by the guests. It is well arranged for a sanitarium and will require very little change. A new heating plant will be installed. There are fireplaces and running water in nearly all of the rooms. There are 3 floors, and for many of the rooms there are excellent views of the lake and the Adirondacks on the west, while the rooms on the east side command a fine view of the Green Mountains. 2 acres of land make extensive grounds around the house. Unquote. All right. So, beautiful house. But the thing is, it didn't last. They bought the house in March 1932, and by, I think it was November of the same year, someone bought it from them. The Depression killed their business, which makes me believe that it also killed their business on Adams Street. Though that I don't know, but I know it definitely did on this one. Alrighty, so if you give me a moment, get back to my car. I have a picture to show you of what this place looked like, certainly in 1932. Alrighty, so this picture is from that same article from April 6, 1932. Perhaps you see it right there. It's hard for me to see it because of the glare from the sunlight. But yeah, notice the side porch over here and the carriage house. The cupola belfry thing up here. The extensive front porch. This was, excuse me, the porte cochere. That's not a side porch. It's a porte cochere. Pretty amazing. And then a contractor bought it and took all these things off. Yeah, and this is what we have today to look at. Alrighty, so if you follow me on Instagram, you'll see another picture I'm going to post of a pamphlet from the Provost Sanitarium, which is what these places were called, Provost Sanitarium. On Instagram, I am Traveling for History, at Traveling for History, Instagram.com/Traveling for History, or you can find me also under hashtag Traveling for History 101. Alrighty, thanks so much for joining me today as I look for other nifty things to investigate and research for you. And if you have any suggestions, put them in the comments below. I am open to suggestions. I've lived here a long time and love exploring. You have a great day until I see you in the next one. Bye.